We struggled with Sentenced to be a Hero. When you strip away the visual splendor of the anime, it leaves much to be desired. While the action sequences were very impressive, I wish that they had established the world and characters more before putting us into combat. I wanted to be shown a reason to care first, because just fighting a demon lord for an hour-long intro episode without much context wasn't super fun.
This also felt weird to show us our main character clearing out seemingly endless amounts of fairies just to be concerned over fighting a single troll later in the story.
And even after that, I wanted more world building than they were providing so that we could feel grounded in the story. For example, we were wishing we'd been shown a map of the Federated Kingdom because for the amount of traveling that they did, I had no idea where we were in relation to anywhere else we had been. So even though interesting things were happening, it felt like I didn't have a reason to get invested, which was perpetuated by the constant showing versus telling problem of the show.
We never got to see a hero die and get revived, which, for that being the main driving force, would have been important for them to prove, among other things.
They also could have done deeper character development to stir up more emotional connections. Aside from being angry at the world, Xylo was established as massively overpowered from episode 1, but then subsequent fights felt like they forgot the abilities, strategies, and previous achievements they'd given him. Plus, the scale of every fight was so large, it was hard to know when something would actually be difficult because it never seemed to matter to him how many enemies they added to the fray. And other than the goal of staying alive and the vague thought of revenge against the church, Xylo wasn't a very strong driving force for the story. So he fell a little flat as a main character, and making the goddesses into little sister types who were desperate for attention was not my favorite decision, so Teorita was also not my favorite character.
I found the hero's party fun to be around, with Venetim and His Majesty being my favorites, as they both actually had to set things up for their payoffs. Getting to learn why each of the heroes were sentenced was interesting, with all of them not being as guilty as they appeared to be.
Kivia was the character that they put the most effort into, and it really worked. Her character arc is where this show truly shines. Honestly, it would have been so much better if Sentenced to be a Hero had just been the Kivia edit. She had well-paced character development, going from being stuck up and harsh to someone that you were really rooting for and truly felt for. Her backstory added real meaning to the actions that occurred, and she had strong guiding convictions. Experiencing the events of the story with Kivia as the main character would have improved so many of the problem areas of this story, and it would have made later reveals more dramatic. I'm left to assume the problem is that they're skipping a bunch of info from the light novels or something, because it feels like there's so much that's missing. The show waited until the final episodes to make any moves too, so it's hard to justify something that takes 4-ish hours to become meaningful.
Flipping the hero title to be a punishment is a cool concept that fell short, especially with how they seem to only sentence people who knew something about the secrets of the demon lords.
Now I know that it sounds like we hated it, but taking everything into consideration, Sentenced to be a Hero was a fine 6 out of 10, and I hope that season 2 continues with the better progression and storytelling that the final episodes proved was possible.